So, welcome. We're excited to present um, on a subject that we know well. We are production planning experts, I would say, and Sunny today has prepared a general overview of our new framing or our new framework, what we've been working on for, well, the better part of this year. So, I am Alex Manning. I am a sales and partnership manager by TH Data. Our product is Planeus, and Sunny today is our international marketing manager, and he will be talking about our framework. We are a team of industry veterans. We have a few planning experts that have been pioneering manufacturing solutions for over 20 years. We have, let's see, we've been developing Planeus for about 7 years and implementing it in a wide range of clients. And this is our take on planning. So, Sunny, go ahead and introduce yourself and take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Sunny Mac, and I am part of the Planeus international teams. So, as Alex mentioned, we have been in the industry for over 20 years. And of course, our team is focused heavily on production planning, which is, we believe, is a blind spot of the modern manufacturing. Let's just jump into it and start with today's agenda. So, first of all, we'll start with the main challenges that are going on right now with the manufacturing industry and why now it might be the best time to rethink our approach on planning itself. And then second, we'll focus on more specific concept called the new planning framework. So it would be a series of planning principles that we believe would be very critical for the manufacturing industry in year 2025 and beyond. And then after that, we'll take a look into how a manufacturing system that using a framework like this will apply this principle and help manufacturer in their daily tasks. And last but not least, we'll look into some of our real customers on how this approach actually help productions getting a successful result or meeting their preset goal or desired goals. So let's start with a short story that is about a shoe manufacturing company. So it is actually my personal experience with a manufacturer who is actually one of the most advanced manufacturing factory in the country. But they told when they come to us and they was like, oh, we actually have a very strict schedule. So we make 2,000 pairs of shoes per day or 3,000 pairs of shoes today, and that's fixed. So if we have any problems come in, like a supply chain problem or a material problem, or even the machine broke down, they either have to work overtime, ask the staff to work overtime, pay them overtime, of course, or to negotiate with the partners and or like the customers saying, oh, can you give us a couple more days? This has bring them enormous this has brought them enormous pressure, and that actually makes me think and make our team think that why should we have to change production planning? Of course, I don't want to sound like we're stating the obvious to all of you here, because you are all manufacturing professionals and you are living and breathing in this industry. However, I would like to state that production manufacturing itself has really changed a lot in of course in recent months, but in the recent years too. And we have yet found a better way to plan. Let me elaborate. So First of all, our world has changed compared to like 20 years ago or 30 years ago. And our supply chain is now not as stable as we thought. Stuff would happen, tariffs happen, maybe strikes happen, and our products might involve processes that are done by someone else. So, for example, you might have an external partner who is doing the process for you, or coding for you, or quality assurance for you. And some processes are getting more complex, for example, with stricter regulations and guidelines. And not just that, our shop floors itself has changed. And we have now robots and cobots and automated vehicles that help us in factories um, to cut down the person in line, in the production line, as well as the person themselves, the worker themselves. They have wearables to help them start, record, and report the processes. Not just that, we have IoT devices, of course, sensors or PLCs and platforms to help us get the most accurate and real-time data from the shop floor. It is all amazing. They are all amazing inventions. However, but in planning itself, we are lacking the ways to respond to changes. We have manufacturers, basically a lot of manufacturers using old complicated systems that only a few people know how to operate. The even more popular solution is Excel. A lot of people using crazy amount of Excel spreadsheets, and also people who are using papers and physical planning boards. Unfortunately, all these tools were built for the previous generation, and actually they're all hindering the efficiency of our productions today. And it created a lot of wasted time and effort on the shop floor. I believe people today understands it. That's why you can. And that actually begs the question, if we have to redesign production planning in the year 2025, how should it be? And this is what we think about it. So first of all, we believe modern production planning has to be intuitive. So we need production planning to be a simple, fast learnable skill with no IT experience required to close the skill gap between the planning person as well as the worker on the shop floor. And that's why we propose a system with a simple UI, easy to learn and reliable. Because just like using an iPhone, you don't actually need 6 months to train on it, because you use it every day, and you should take no more than a day to learn how to schedule. And second, we think production planning has to be role-based, and that means that everyone should be able to see the plan in their own aspects. And we need the most latest information to be broadcast to the right person so they can react accordingly. And therefore, a plan needs to have a tailored views for the workers, for the planner, for project leaders and managers. They all have their own views to the plan. Not one person get everything or everyone got everything, because that will cause information overload. Moreover, we can even include external partners like coding company or your components manufacturers with their own view to your plan, and therefore they can not only get to know what your plan would be, as well as they can update their own process to your production plan. That means, like, for example, your component manufacturers has some delays in their parts. You don't have to know it 1 week later when you got the email from them. Instead, you got the instant update from your contract manufacturer or external partners. Another key point that we want to improve on, we have to improve on in manufacturing, is agility. So we often see that when any disruptions happens, for example, the machine broke down or a worker got sick, we often see planners panic and they want to solve every problem that comes in as soon as possible. And this is actually a mentality we in production planning, in planeus actually call firefighting. Um, and when you're in this kind of panic mentality, mistakes happen. And we have to stop this from happening. Therefore, to solve this, we actually propose a best solution that is to help planner by indicating the current situation, but not sounding the alarm for everything and cause panic-driven decisions just because they are disruptions. Because no productions are perfect. Accidents happen. And when it happens, we have to be able to prioritize it. And now, but when should we sound the alarm? When should we actually prioritize? Okay, this is the problem we have to solve. We call them conflicts. Conflicts are different from disruptions. Conflicts come from different shapes and forms. And for example, a machine broke down that causes your next task on that machine would be delayed, which would cause the final delivery date of that order to be delayed. That is to us is conflict. And these are the problems that matter. They can happen when disruptions taking too long. Or for example, some orders would be, as I said, would be way past the delivery date. And in the past, or current time, basically, planners would be just sitting in front of it and just sit for hours and hours and check if there's any problems. We don't want that because in modern production planning, we should have an algorithm to detect these conflicts and classify them so we can solve them assisted by the computer, by the algorithm itself. And this is how we solve them proactively instead of looking for. Another point is that we know all the planning tools take a long time to implement and deploy. Sometimes it takes years of development to get the workflows work reliably. And in modern planning, we propose that we should have an end-to-end integration and not rely on paper or Excel workarounds. And for a production planning system to work in the modern time, we need fast deployment. We need a system that we're able to go live in 3 to 4 months. We don't want a year of planning to plan a planning system. We want things to be quick and start improving, as well as a system that is ready to integrate to other systems like ERP, like MES, like IoT platforms, instead of production planning becoming its own thing. In the modern times, systems connect to each other, interoperate each other, and complement each other. Other thing, and basically the last thing, the final and the most important point that we believe the modern production planning should be is to be goal oriented, because a lot of people forgot that without a goal, planning has no use, because what do you plan for? You plan for an outcome that you want. So planning without a goal is like walking blindfolded. You don't know where the production will take you. if you keep on saying, okay, I have a production and now on the plan, I just keep solving problem and see where it leads you. This is not planning. This plain blindfold walking. So we need to bring production back to its goal, back to your goals, not where it brings you. And so whether you want to have a 100% on time delivery rate for the next month or 3 months later, or you want to use more of your machines, like I want to use my CNC machine or injection molding machine more, cutting the throughput times. These are the goals. And with a goal-oriented planning, every decision you make, every conflict you solve is to lead you to that desired goals. So that's why goal-oriented is something that we have to take in account, that this is the real way to plan instead of just reacting to things that happened. So here they are. These are what we think the key points that how production planning should be done in year 2025. And compared to us in planeus, we actually created a name for these principles, and it's called the new planning framework. We call this framework because this is an approach that is keep on expanding, and it is an optimized approach for planning in 2025. So we build our system based on this framework, and we actually have, as Alex mentioned, we have successfully implementing them for countless manufacturers in the past 7 years from different kind of industries. So how? So you ask, how do we actually apply this planning framework into our solution and to the real life operations? First of all, we make everything simple. We don't want a complex system. We make our UI as simple as possible for everyone to use. In some cases, we have actually new planners that come to planeus and they learned planning within minutes by using the Gantt charts. And in one case, the system planeus is actually managing over 4,000 scheduled work orders at once without latency because of its structure, because of the modern structure. So this is unheard of if you think about other systems like Excel. Then we make problem solving extremely easy. We have a feature called conflict radar, and conflict radar will identify and classify all conflicts the moment it sees them. So now you don't have to look at it. Now you don't have to look at the entire Gantt chart. Instead, the conflict radar will pick everything for you, and what you need to do is to jump in to the conflict. It just leads you to where it is, and you will solve it before it actually make a problem or any delays. Not only that, we actually make all the estimated production outcomes super clear on our dashboard. So our dashboard is a future-oriented dashboard. It shows the KPI from the future because it estimates what your plan would be by calculating your on-time delivery, your capacity utilization, and your process efficiencies. So you will see, for example, I want my goal to be I want 3 months later, I want my schedule on-time delivery to reach 80%. And now you will know if your plan can actually do that. So you see which goal you're aiming for and whether your current plan will reach your desired outcome in that specific time frame in the future. And this is what we think is production planning. So after, as I said, we have been working on this for 7 years in planeus, in production planning, in this framework. And after implementing this, we actually have lots of very impressive cases. And here are our findings. So first of all, we have really quick implementation time. It actually surprised everyone. We have record-breaking implementations, and one of our fastest cases is from a company in Germany. It's relatively big, actually. So it's called Weidmüller. It is a large-scale German electrical connection system manufacturer, and they have successfully transformed their 300 people already automated factory within just 2.5 months using planeus into a totally modernized production planning, as I stated before. And because of the simple UI and the algorithm, Weidmüller's team got used to the system very quickly, and they actually ramped up the production speed with 20% shorter lead times and 30% more on-time deliveries. That is a very surprising and impressive result, I would say. And it's not just Weidmüller. And after 1 year of implementing this planning framework, we have manufacturers who implemented it from different industry reporting other growths in KPIs like on-time deliveries. Some of them have 50% more. Some of them have 35% more. And reductions in throughput times like 30% faster, 20% faster, and even some of them even increased production capacity because they can just plan more orders at once, and at the same time completely get rid of paper-based processes. And this is very powerful. At last, but not least, some of our customers actually have already entered the stage of continuous optimizations, which means that they already successfully reached their previous goals. For example, here we have two cases like on-time delivery and OE. They already reach it, and they already move on to the next targets. Like here, better control on the change controls, as well as cycle planning, which is very complex, I must say. And in this case, when they're using a framework like this, they not only completed their past goals, they even can able to have more time and grow more comfortable and more time to opens up for newer projects and more optimization goals. So finally, I would like to share some takeaways about this new change that we are seeing is happening in production planning. First of all, I think we have to understand that the current way of planning has been overdue, outdated for at least 10 years. And it is too old for the complexity of modern manufacturing, which include a lots of particles like suppliers or other systems. And we have to change urgently. And second, we need a new goal-oriented framework that's able to tackle the challenges today. Without the framework, we will just on one side we only can keep on firefighting on the changes that's come in. And third, with the framework, there are already actually manufacturer using this framework and achieving what they wanted to achieve. And some are even moving to the next goals. That means continuous optimization. So I would like to end this presentation by asking a question. To rethink production planning. What is production planning? Does it mean like if there's any problems coming, I just solve it very quickly? No. It is about getting better than yesterday. Run your production better than yesterday, or let your let uh, let your production meet your goal in the time that you want it to happen. Second thing, try think about what can be better in the production, because there are lots of times that at the first glance that people will say, oh, our production planning runs good, runs very well, without asking the planners. But when we ask the planners, say, oh no, our production solutions, sorry, our planning solution is not very ideal and we have to change it. So in many cases we encountered, the first step to change is always about asking the people in charge and acknowledging the need for a change in planning or in manufacturing in general. Okay, so now this is what we have today. It's a relatively short presentation, but I believe this is very helpful for a lot of people. Thank you for everyone for joining us. And before we actually enter a Q&A section, even it says Q&A section, I want to give a shout out to our upcoming webinar in March, where we will talk about the best practices in making effective and goal-oriented planning. So how you actually can make a plan that meets your goal. And if you want to contact our expert, you can just scan the QR code right there. And it will bring you to the Calendly link where you can schedule a meeting with our expert right away, and we can talk about your production planning and your goals. Okay, that's all from me. Alex, do you have any questions or?
Thanks, Sunny. That was great.
Yeah.
Do we want to open it up for questions? We have a little bit of time. We can take questions
Yes.
for the next 5 minutes. I would have to unmute everyone somehow. Or I guess you can also type your questions. While people come up with some questions, Sunny, I saw you had a slide about ease of deployment.
Yes.
Now, when you're talking about a new framework or a new way of thinking,
Just
how
give me a
does this
second.
framework,
Sorry.
all the way back through,
There we go.
it
There
was,
we go.
yeah, okay, so ease of deployment. So when we're talking about something new, there will always be someone that doesn't want to do it, right?
Yeah.
There's always going to be someone that says, I don't want to change. So how does this new framework ensure adoption by planners who are familiar with traditional planning methods?
Yes, so technically this framework is not new, even it says new, because we are still doing production planning, but in an easier and more modern way. We aim to empower and assist planners of today. And some of the familiar tools like Gantt chart, we still have Gantt charts. Like dashboard, we still have dashboard, but we empower them and we modernize them in a way that everyone is able to use them quickly and easily. So actually, there will not be a difficulties for older planners or planners who are used to traditional planning methods to use a newer system like this, because it's still made for production planning. We're not changing anything here. We're just telling everyone would be able, if you want to change, this is the way to go.
Cool. And how would that integrate into existing systems. Like if you have an existing ERP in place, how would we simplify and implement the integration between them?
So on a technical level, that a framework would be able to connect with ERP. For example, it will able to sync with ERP on key data like project order, so production orders, routings, articles, data, customer data. They're all there. And on a, so and also like the same time when for example the planning system completed the order, completed the production, or unfortunately, if there's a problem in the production, it will be able to reflect to the ERP saying, hey, the order is completed, or, oh, sorry, the order has to be delayed, or is currently having a problem. And it will tell you, okay, when will it be able to arrive? And on the more goal-oriented level is that since now production planning is goal-oriented, we are able to align production plan to your business goals. For example, if your business goal is to you want to cut down production time, how do you cut down production time? You don't go there and just cut away people's tasks like, oh, your routing involves cutting. Cutting takes too long. Let's just take away cutting. That's not how it works. But instead, we have to optimize the planning. That means you cut down the waste of time in between processes. Like if that product has to sit there for 2 days with idling with nothing to do with it, that means you're wasting time. So production planning is to uh, align this goal to the actual production operations.
Hmm. Cool.
Yep. And one more thing
Sunny,
I want to add in, sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
with other systems that, for example, supply chain management system, for example, customer management system, they can also reflect or report any newest changes. For example, supply chain of is easy, like there's a supply chain delay, then your production has to be delayed. So it's all we can within this framework, we can have a more interconnected and proactive network.
Cool.
Yes.
Thank you. So,
Thank you.
Andrew has a question. He says
Cool.
I know there is a free demo. Are you able to send someone out, or is there a webinar for us to be walked through the system in order to use our data in the system without going in blind? So I can answer that one.
Yes.
As we are a web-based system or cloud-based, as you say, um, it's very easy for us to deploy, very quick for us to deploy, and we can spin up a test version for very for very little costs. Essentially, you could test our system for 3 months with your own data for just essentially time and materials. So that's one way for us to guarantee that you know that you are not going in blind. Essentially, it involves a couple training sessions. It involves us asking a lot of questions and inputting a lot of data and teaching you how to use our system so that you have the opportunity to test our system before committing to a full year or to multiple users or additional functions. So that's one thing. And then it says, do you guys send someone out to sync our ERP system to planeus? A lot of the times we can do that also remotely, but we have a great team of consultants and they love to travel. I don't know where you're located, but I'm sure I can convince Uva to get on a plane for you. Uh, but our API can communicate remotely with your ERP system, even if your ERP system is on premise. So let's, if you have any other questions, reach out either via our website or either to Sunny or myself, and we can talk you through it and we can send you some more information.
Great.
I think we could, if there's any other questions, I guess now would be the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sunny, talk to
Mm-hmm.
me really quickly about
Yes.
deployment speed and ROI. How do you
Cool.
think how do you think that our deployment speed can positively impact the ROI?
So production planning is a good leverage because with a good plan, you can actually have a faster ROI than, for example, I'm not like if there anyone from MES, I'm sorry, but is with a good planning and assignments of machines to the job or worker or specialist to the job, it's we have seen a very effective improvement as you see in all the percentage where here is they are all actually very real, and it is within 1 year. It is like 1 year when they come back to us, they tell us, oh, we have like 50% more on time deliveries because the planning changed. We have, for example, one plastic polymer processing company come to us, and after a year they are able to have multiple orders do it at once, so it saves a lot of time. And that's where the ROI comes in, because with good planning you can do multiple things at once, and even shorten the distance between two tasks. Or even, for example, if you have too much inventory lying on your shop floor, that's also a planning problem, where uh you can save these factory spaces by planning them accordingly and speed up the
So,
production process.
so you're talking not only about increasing production, but also looking at the utilization of your shop floor and what's actually getting used.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
cool. All right, guys, and gals, apologies. We're going to close this one. We're going to keep doing little discussions, little
Nice.
webinars every couple weeks. So keep in touch. We'll be posting it. If there's any sort of information that you would like to know, please reach out to us. We're friendly. We're more than happy to answer questions. So,
Yes.
Sunny, amazing job. Thank you for your time. Thanks for
Thank
putting this
you.
together for us, and great job. And everyone, wishing you a lovely evening, and until next time,
Or morning,
or
depends.
morning, wherever you are. All
All
right.
right.
Have a good one.
See you guys
Talk to you
then.
soon. Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.